Hey guys, it's Revan Tactical here. I got a new tripod thing. That's what I set up. So the arts and craft video was using the new tripod. I really actually liked it. It made things a lot more stable and easier to do hands-free kind of stuff. So hopefully it helps with some of the quality of doing some quick filming. Just doing a little update as far as the world goes, right? If you've been living under a box, I still wouldn't believe that you didn't know about this Afghanistan withdrawal from American troops. As a veteran, as somebody who did serve, and I don't usually talk about it, I am incredibly disappointed. I'm incredibly sad, disappointed at the lack of planning, the lack of this. Well, we're right now, there's 10 to 15,000 U.S. citizens abandoned, essentially, in Afghanistan. And I'm not even talking about the refugee part. We have 10 to 15,000 U.S. citizens there who are anywhere from like contractor work to military to people who are in logistics and stuff like that. And they're just, a lot of them are civilian. And there's no plan. And there's no plan at all. Like, right now, basically, they were told in a memo with the same thing, something along the lines of, we acknowledge that you did file a request to evacuate. We are thankful for that. We can't guarantee your safety to the airport, nor can we guarantee your safety right now. But there are hopefully plans coming. I mean, we're doing a mass exodus without a plan, and you have Taliban forces completely surrounding the entire capital there, and their capital around the airport. I don't know, not to mention now you have refugees piling up. I mean, that's also saying something, right? It shows how much we failed in that country, and here's some things that are going to happen. If you watch The Warrior Poet, he talked about a few things like this, and my biggest thing is, with the weapons that we gave them, pretty much, if there was anything from surface to air missiles in there, you could probably expect something like airliners going down. I mean, you gave them the technology. It's not just an RPG where you can just lob it. You have something that can lock on now. You have something that's going to be seeking. I mean, we left drones and Blackhawks and all this stuff, like all this equipment that they're going to be able to use. I mean, it's a field day for them. They're hyped up. They're going to be very, very much on board with actually going forward. They defeated the devil, essentially. And we ran. And we ran with our tails between our legs and running out and evacuating. I mean, I feel terrible for the service members that are there desperately pulling people out and pulling out. I mean, the big airliner, the big C5 Galaxy that you see with the big famous picture of all of them on, that was supposed to be for embassy workers. And they swarmed the field, they swarmed the plane, they got packed it with 700 people into that belly of the plane, and they had no choice. They couldn't do anything about it, so they just took off. Because what are you going to do? You're going to waste more time trying to kick them off. So they took off, and people were clinging to the plane. And there's a video floating around with a guy who you thought was an adult stuck on the outside of the plane as it's cruising probably 10,000 plus feet over the air, flopping around like a kite, and it turns out to be a child. And you saw people falling off the plane as it was starting to get up to altitude, a couple thousand feet up in the air. They're falling. I mean, how terrible is this, and what a mess this is? I mean, I know it's the prepping channel, and I know it's what it is, but the consequences of this event are going to affect this nation. Afghanistan is a place where a lot of countries have gone, and they've tried to conquer it, and they've tried to tame it, and they've tried to do all these things, and then they wind up failing. I mean, part of the thing is, I look at it like now, with some hindsight, being a little bit older, I went, well, technically I don't think we should have gone. However, if you're going to go to a place like this, you need a plan, and you need a plan to treat it like how we treated post-World War II Germany, post-World War II Japan, where you go into a place like this, you help rebuild, you help set some boundaries, and it becomes kind of a stationary tour of duty for like the Army and the Navy and all this. And that's not fun necessarily. But you look at Japan and all that stuff, eventually it became kind of a nice base. It became a nice place to go. Now people want to go to Germany and Japan. They think it's fun. Korea, not so much. But, that's what it has to be. Do I think we really need more global bases all over the place? No. But this is the result of what happens when you abandon and pull out. Did I expect the Afghan army to hold and do everything? No. The military is going to go to the first people who offer them money. We offer them money to hold out. And the reality is they're not well educated. For the most part, they're not all well educated. Most of them can't read. Most of them have very low IQ scores in that category. And the well-funded Taliban that says basically we're stronger, we're scarier, and we're all this, cool. Why don't you put down your weapons or we'll kill your family kind of thing. I guess. Hey, cool, you can join us now. You got some training, you got some this, that. One thing that someone brought up too was, we've been there for 20 years. Some people in my kids' age, if they were born there, wouldn't have an idea what the Taliban-controlled Afghanistan was like. I'm sure they've had bombings, and I'm sure they've had little skirmishes here and there. But for the most part, those kids, especially the women there, wouldn't have the same issues that they're going to face now. And what a terrible thing that's coming. And it's already there. And the news isn't going to report it. They're going to praise this as some great evacuation. Our leadership has failed. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's probably been the most disappointing thing I've seen in a long time. And it hurts. It hurts in a way that I think most people wouldn't, unless you've gone overseas in that position. It hurts because it's like you watched all of the stuff that you did and you kind of believed in that at the time collapse. Like, you believed you were helping, you believed you were there doing this, and you had to believe in it to be there, for the most part. But I don't know. I think you're going to see a rise in terrorism here. You're going to see a rise in basically the whole concept you're going to see come back tenfold here. You're going to see people that probably are coming here who won't be able to get vetted, and you're going to allow people in who are in the Taliban to get in. There's no way to not get it. You're talking hundreds of thousands of people at the last second that are bailing, and you're going to be able to hide it. It's not like there's a huge, great database. There is, but you're going to let people slip through, and now you're going to face terrorist attacks here. I've always said that, this country was on that verge of the tipping point, and I don't think we can handle this kind of thing. And I feel bad in a way for refugees. I go, that's tough. That's a tough situation to be in. On one hand, you tell people, like, why don't you stick and fight? On the other hand, you go, if you're not trained to fight, and if you're not there, and you have an overwhelming force like that, what do you do? Americans weren't planning on pulling out that quick, and your own military that you were kind of expecting completely abandoned you. Imagine if George Washington's military at the beginning of the Revolutionary War walked away and the militias went and joined the British. So then you were left with the Continental Congress, or whatever you want to call them, left there going, oh. That's kind of what this is. I don't blame them in a way like that. It's just one of those moments where you're like, oh no, The fighters that were supposed to fight and defend left and abandoned. I don't know. Afghanistan is also one of those crazy countries where you have so many different diverse little groups that it's probably hard to unify. And I don't think these countries want democracy or a democratic republic. I think they want what they need. They want what they have, and now they're going to get Taliban rule. You're going to have a caliphate there, and they're going to have a central base of operation in a very resource-rich country. And what I think is going to also happen is China will take Taiwan, Russia will probably invade Ukraine, and they're also going to be helping them with the Taliban. They're working with them now. So, with that, on a sad note, it's Raven Tactical signing off. Please put prayers out for the military there. Please put prayers out for the people that are refugees and all this. It's just a rough time for everyone around. great day. Take care and watch your six.